The cornerback, I think, has – I'm a big believer that football is always evolving and that we are getting into a world where the hybrid is going to be king. But there is still a place in the world for the straight-up lockdown corner. And here to talk about a few of those in the 2017 class across the Lone Star State is the official recruiting analyst of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. We're joined by James Lott. James, how are you?
What's up, guys? How's it going today?
We're doing pretty good. I want to ask you about something I just said about hybrid guys. I feel like, especially in the secondary, people are looking for – it used to be that you could be the kind of undersized but speedy corner. I know that everybody's kind of looking for that bigger corner. Are you seeing more and more of a blurring between the lines between safeties and corners?
Yeah, there is, because today, with these wideouts being as big and strong and fast as they are, you have to have a kid that can match up with them and be able to get out there and lock them down and run with them. So that's why it's more of a shift to find these longer kids that are athletic, that can run and, cover these guys and shut these guys down on the perimeter.
Yeah, it used to be, for example, when you look at Dallas Bishop Dunn cornerback Chevin Calloway, it used to be that 5'10" would have been a monstrous corner. That would have been a huge guy out on the edge. Now it's pretty average, but this kid is something special.
He is special. I mean, he's been a start. He's 5'10", about 180. He's been a starter since his freshman season. The true lockdown corner, can flip his hips, can run with any receiver in the country, has great initial quicks, can lock up, like I said, and play man-to-man with your best receiver and just shut down that part of the field. Excellent recovery skills when he's beaten. Just a phenomenal player with excellent ball skills. 4-star kid, the 11th ranked defensive back or cornerback in the country. Just a special kid that is definitely my top guy by far of cornerbacks in this year's class.
And I want to ask you, because he does play for Bishop Dunn, a private school here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. On one hand, we kind of look at the private school ranks and we say, okay, well, he's not necessarily playing in the 6A level, the 5A level. But on the other hand, I look at the competition that he plays there at Bishop Dunn in that kind of top tier of taps, and I know for a fact that they've got big-time wide receivers out there, so it's not like he's going up against these scrubs.
Absolutely. And Bishop Dunn, as we know over the years, has had some of the top Division I talent every year, with 3 or 4 guys coming out of there every year that are Division I. But he's special no matter who he plays against. You cut the film on and you just see a guy that's faster, stronger, more physical, and electric than anybody on the field, no matter what or who he's playing against.
And then another place that's known for putting out some talent here in their Port Arthur Memorial, they've got another guy this year, Kary Vincent, 5'11", 170, a big kid. One of the things that stands out to me is that here's a guy that everyone in the world has every reason to throw away from, and yet he still notched 5 interceptions last year. That's a pretty impressive stat there.
Absolutely. And he's another one that can go get it. 5'11", 170, like you said, 4.38 kid. Now, this one can go. I mean, he just recently won the Region 3 track meet. So he'll be going to state with the fastest time in the state in the 200. From what I hear, he ran 21.15. He also is going to state in the 4x1 100 meters. But when you watch him, what I like about him is not only is he great as a cornerback, as a lockdown guy, the kid is special as a punt returner and kick returner. He's a kid that's electric, that every time he touches the ball, he's got a chance to score, can play wide receiver, also plays a little bit of free safety, but he is definitely a lockdown corner at the next level. His dad played at A&M in the New Orleans Saints, so he's got great bloodlines, but another can't-miss prospect that's going to have a great future ahead of him.
Yeah, A&M fans probably know the name Kary Vincent themselves, as he was the star receiver for the Aggies a while ago. When I look at Kary Vincent, you mentioned his ability to contribute in special teams. When maybe guys when colleges are recruiting these kids, how much are they paying attention to that? How much are they paying attention to their ability to contribute on maybe another side of the ball like special teams?
Yeah, I think it's special. I think it's big because, say, for instance, you bring in a freshman kid that may not contribute necessarily as a receiver or as a defensive back, but he's a guy that can get on the field on special teams and be a difference maker. This kid's a difference maker, and you can see, I don't care where he goes, there's not going to be too many people, if you cut that film on, and look at him, that can do what he's able to do as a punt returner, kick returner. Just a special guy with the ball in his hand.
We're talking with James Lott, the official recruiting analyst of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation at hashtag DCTF Live. James, one other guy that you sent us that we want to talk about, and you don't see a lot of 6'4" corners, but here's Myles Jones out of Magnolia West. I know he's kind of closer to that hybrid that we were talking about, kind of that safety cornerback. I think if you look at like a guy like Byron Jones that the Cowboys drafted last year, he kind of fits that mold, kind of a tweener. When you watch Myles Jones out of Magnolia West, what stands out to you?
And truthfully, 6'4", 175-pound, long kid, versatile. Like you said, he can play cornerback. He can play free safety. Truthfully, when I watch the film on him, he's an excellent tackler. I think he will progress, and I think he will develop and be a safety at the next level, a free safety. I think he's rangy. He's got excellent tackle skills. He's got solid feet and change of direction skills for a big kid, but I think his true future is going to be at the free safety level. I might be wrong, but definitely a kid that can contribute immediately with his athleticism, size, and speed and range. He also another kid that plays a little bit of wide receiver, so another special kid.
And it seems to me that it's probably easier, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably easier to teach a corner how to play safety than a safety how to play corner. Is that right?
Absolutely, because getting out on that corner, that's a whole different deal out there. It's a little easy conversion to go from corner to free safety than free safety to corner. That corner takes a while to develop, and it takes special kids to play out there on the perimeter.
He is James Lott. He's the official recruiting analyst of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at JLScouting. James, appreciate your time, and we'll do it again next week.
Thanks for having me, guys.
There he goes, James Lott, the official recruiting analyst of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. 6'4". All right, Myles Jones, by the way, a Texas A&M commit right now, and the younger brother of Xavier Jones, the defensive end at Baylor. 6'4" corners, and we talk about it. When we go back to the wide receivers, we were talking like a Hezekiah Jones down there in the Houston area, who's just monster, who's this tall guy. How do you fight that? Well, you got to have tall corners. And to me, that's where I think when I look at guys like, and this is going to sound very crazy, I think the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, I think he came into the league 10 years too early.
Probably.
Because I think that what you're going to see is more and more of these hybrid guys who can play corner and safety, guys who can play defensive end and outside linebacker. I think you're starting to see that because offenses are getting so sophisticated and offenses are getting so versatile themselves that you got to have versatility on the defensive side. And by design, defenses are reactive. And offenses are proactive in the sense that offenses change something, defenses fix it, then offenses find something, defenses fix it. I think right now we're starting to get into that mold that you go look at the rise of guys like Rob Gronkowski, okay? These giant, massive tight ends, these guys who can run like wide receivers but are as big as tight ends. You've got to have guys who can match up with those. I think you're going to start to see those guys. You're going to start to see that kind of hybrid of guys. And I really think, in that same vein, when you look at guys, This is not necessarily the most popular thing in the world to say, but when you look at guys like Michael Vick, I think was about 10 years too early in the league. Because now if Michael Vick comes into the league, yeah, he's a little bit undersized, but at the same time, what they're doing is not special. Look at what Cam Newton's doing.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think that you're going to see more and more of these hybrid guys like Myles Jones, who are going to be more and more valuable to colleges and later at the pro level.
Yeah, I mean, and the versatility is the number one thing there, because watching the clips of all these guys, the amount of ground they cover is staggering.
Yeah.
I mean, you sit there and you talked about, like you said, there's no incentive in the world to throw anywhere near Kary Vincent. And yet he still finds ways to make interceptions. And it's simply because he's not in the ballpark when the ball is thrown, then he gets there.
That dude's got rocket launchers attached to his feet.
He's
a burner.
And then with Myles, he's so tall and his arms are so long that he's not in the zip code when the ball is thrown, but he gets there both through speed and length. So it's pretty amazing to watch how much of the field these guys can really occupy when they're not the biggest guys out there.
And when they're not, they can occupy that space without being in that space.
Right. And they're also doing it, we sit here and talk about their versatility. They could be safeties down the road. They're doing it from the corner position.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Pretty crazy.